Welcome to the Mufc Realist TV. Today we will give you the best dream or your worst nightmare because tomorrow Man United will play Newcastle in the League Cup. Today we have a sizzling panel of Steve from Newcastle TV who will come in and give his insight. We have Poppy and Mark. So be prepared for a spooky experience.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world,
on MUFC Realist TV.
ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Hey up, everybody! Welcome to MUFC Realist TV. Today we will prepare and talk about tomorrow's game in Man United against Newcastle United. And today we have a sizzling panel with Steve. We have Football Power Hour and Mark. Welcome, guys. How are you doing?
Just chilling.
Well,
Good.
cool. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Steve, you're on mute. So introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Steve Strasburg. Steve on YouTube, as that's my French team. But yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. It should be a good episode. Nice to meet you too, Football Power Hour and Mark. Nice to meet you guys.
Pleasure.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Very good. Very nice. So what are you guys drinking? I'm having a half a cup of coffee, even if it's late.
Same thing here, bro. It's
Oh,
kind of cold out
Yoda.
here right now.
Star Wars. I like it.
I'm just having water today. I have some allergies going on, but so just some warm water. We'll see.
It's not good. Not good. Remember to mute your mic when you sneeze.
Right. I definitely will. I've been sneezing a lot lately, so.
What's going on with you, Poppy? You coming down with the cold?
Yeah, man. It is what it is. It's Manchester United that's giving me this cold.
Very good.
This current
Are the
cold.
Glazers out to get you, my bro?
Right.
Yeah, I see we have a guest here today. We have Steve. How do you pronounce your last name? Is it Machala? No,
Machala.
Machala.
Yeah,
Machala,
it's Czech.
Check.
Okay.
Really?
Nice.
Some people. I know what y'all are gonna say. It sounds Hawaiian, mahalo, but it's Czech for whatever reason. So
I love your
Nice.
shirts hanging in the background. Is it? Are you like a fanatic shirt collector?
yeah, I've got about
Focus.
170 football shirts overall. Yeah, 60 of them are Newcastle. So I have a lot of different combinations.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
cool. That's really
Wow.
cool. Do you have any United shirts? Man
I
United?
have one. I actually have one, and it's for reselling purposes in like 20 years because it's still got the tags on it. I got it at one of those what's it called? I got it at TJ Maxx for like $20.
Mm.
On sale.
That'll be worth something in a few years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Is
just
it the
like-
green and gold one?
No. It's the one where it's the Europa League one where you lost in the final, the Chevrolet one.
Oh,
Yeah, pattern on it kind of thing. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I haven't bought shirts for a lot of years because I'm boycotting the Glazers. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't buy nothing when Mike Ashley was owner of Newcastle, so I feel you on that. I didn't.
yeah, that's a good point because people are soon to forget that Newcastle actually have been in a situation like Man United. You have had a owner that the fans didn't like, and there's been like silent protests or big protests. and you struggled with Mike Ashley for a lot of years, but now you have
Yeah.
royalties running the club.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I empathize with you guys. I don't empathize with like Sunderland if they had crap owners, like screw them. But like you guys, I can kind of be like, yeah, I empathize with you guys because like it's having horrible owners, bro. There's just it makes it feel pointless at times. It's like, what were we ever gonna do under Mike Ashley? We had like you had like 1 or 2 good seasons, maybe. But other than that, it was battling relegation. So it was just crap. But I've been a fan since 2017 about. So
Mm.
that's how
Yeah.
long I've been in it. But yeah, good times lately. Good times back lately. So
Yeah, you're looking sharp at the moment. You've been playing
Yeah.
really good football. You won 9-0. That was like
yeah.
goals are running in. It's extremely impressive. So, Mark, can you say hello to the VR room?
Hey guys, what's going on, guys? What's going on with you all? I see Luan France is in here. Red G is saying good evening. William Colony is just wanting to make sure no bloody minds get lost in a field. Abdul Rahman is coming in here. Funny how this guy has stopped talking about the takeover. You know, there's a lot of different opinions in the chat right now. As we know, the guy from above, he's always sneaking in the background. Mick is here, he's live. You know what I mean? We're streaming also the Football Power guys. So you know, if you haven't liked and subscribed his stream, get there. You know, just drop a comment, even if it's after the stream. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Help get his channel to 1,000K. You know, so
Mm.
nice, nice, nice. What are you thinking of, Poppy? What do you think Eric Ten Hag is gonna do? Because I see there's a poll in the chat right now, and it asks, what do you think Eric Ten Hag will make multiple changes to the starting 11 for the game against Newcastle?
I think he's definitely has to. Otherwise, why do we have other players in the squad? You know, this is the chance where rotation comes into the picture, and then we're going to see a revitalized Manchester United because there will be no Rashford, there'll be no Bruno, you know, most likely. I don't know about the Bruno one, but I have to take it back. But like the exciting part is to see the team playing without Rashford. And I actually feel on those two guys that they'll actually play better with the other player being on the bench. So I'm looking forward to a midfield and a team that's just revitalized and Serge Reguilon back at left back, and I just want us to go really strong, like as strong as possible with the rotation in mind.
Yeah. I just want to add in for the VR room. If you miss Mick, he's not around at the moment. He's on his plane. He's going to a warm place, and he will be on hopefully on tomorrow night. But we will see. We will see because of the time difference. I'm not sure. So just as you know. So guys in the VR room, if you have any questions for Steve, just fire in and we will try to answer them when as it goes. You know, he knows a lot of knowledge, has a lot of knowledge about Newcastle and French football. Actually, what's your favorite team again in France?
It's Strasbourg. So
Strasbourg.
it's because so basically, and I support them because they're in the northeast of France. And my great grandparents were born there in a suburb called Witzheim. So I'm part Alsatian, which is French German. So I was like, all right, cool.
Vive la France!
Vive la France!
Yeah.
I'm
you
not a
speak
huge
a little
French
bit
fan,
French.
more of an Italian football fan myself. To be
I
fair.
love Lazio. Lazio are my Serie A team. That's what I rock with there.
You know, if I had
Lazio.
to support an Italian team, I'd probably support Milan. You know, they wear the similar colors to Manchester United. It's
Red
kind of the
Devils.
theme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Steve, what about La Liga? Which one are you rocking with in La Liga?
I haven't picked it. If I had to pick one, it'd be Athletic Club. It'd be Athletic Club. I like them. But I don't have a La Liga team at the moment. But out of all the leagues I've watched this year, I've enjoyed La Liga the most. The games are just of such high quality this season comparative to what else I'm seeing. I'm liking the Eredivisie as well. That's another one of my favorite leagues to watch. But La Liga this year has been so good. Like even the games where it's like Granada and like Rayo Vallecano, they've been just crazy, like very, very high quality games, goals. So I'm enjoying that. Real Sociedad are playing good football. Barca, I mean, Jude Bellingham is an entertainment in and of himself. That guy is just next level. So, but yeah, I like La Liga too. I like everything, man. I'll watch any
Have you
sport.
watched any games with Girona this season?
Yes.
They're in second. They
Yeah.
have actually been playing really good.
What can you
Yeah.
tell us about Savio?
Savio, man, he's just burst onto the scene. He's a playmaker. He's got a lot of energy. He's left foot, right foot. He's like everything goes through Savio, Girona. They're a really good team. They literally play like City. They play like City. They play just the bro. Honestly, like the passing triangles and everything. It's unbelievable. They play super football. They could genuinely finish in that top 4 spot. I don't know if they have enough firepower up front necessarily to get first place, but crazier things have happened. But
Yeah.
they're
I
really good.
actually tried to study their coach. You know, they call him is Miguel Angel or Michel.
Yeah.
He has like like he plays the 4-4-2 formation with like a double width. So it's very special, and they attack on the flanks with the setting of triangles. Usually teams set up triangles in the center, but they set up triangles on the sides and then shift play. It's extremely innovative in a way. And when we talked about the managers who could replace Ten Hag if he was sacked, he was one of the coaches I mentioned because I like his style. The 4-4-2 is also Man United's old usual style that we played through the 90s and noticed with
with the
Ferguson.
two wingers.
Yeah,
wingers,
so
two
so
strikers.
so
That can actually cross a ball, you know.
So one of the reasons I asked you that question is because I've been hearing some rumblings about our scouting, right? And I hear we have a scout positioned in Girona right now, and he's been looking at Savio. And I would just like you to maybe give an inclination of what he could do if we was to get him and either put him on the left or maybe the right. I wouldn't say the right yet because I have another La Liga question to ask you about the right side.
Let's see, on the right or on the left. Let me look at his match log here because I think
on the left he plays the more. I think for some reason.
Yeah, he plays more on the left. He had a really good game, I believe, though, against Getafe. No, Getafe played on the left. I'm trying to think. He had a few good games. It was the game versus Granada, where he had a very good game on the right. But you're right. He mostly does play on the left. So I'm a big fan of his. He just came from Estac Trois. He didn't get too much playing time at PSV. So I don't think I would be buying him yet. But he is one of those guys where it's like in 2 years, I wouldn't be surprised if he's at a top club because he's just got that level of talent, intelligence. Like they're fun to watch. They're really fun to watch. So Dovbyk as well. Dovbyk, kind of big, strong target man, good with both feet. Area, he can score goals with his head. That guy is he's super productive for them as well. So I they're a good team to watch, man. They're a really good team to watch.
Have you been able to, as you mentioned Granada, we have a loanee playing on the left and at the left back position, and he's been playing really well in the few games he's recently strung up a few consecutive starts, and he has been showing up. I think he got man of the match for them in the last game.
Yeah, against Villarreal yesterday. What a crazy game that was. That was where Villarreal went up 3-0, and then Granada hit, and that was in the first half. And then there were 2 quick goals. I think it wasn't Zaragoza. It was the other guy up front for them, to the left or to the right actually. And then their fullback scored also. But yeah, Fernandes has been really good. They just leaked too many goals, Granada. They leaked too many goals. They have how many goals conceded and scored? It's like one of the most what's it called? It's one of the most highest goal involvements in the top 5 European leagues. 17 goals scored for Granada, 28 conceded. No other team in Europe has more goals involved in their games on both ends. So it's
They
like,
really go for it. It sounds like that, like rock
yeah,
and roll. They really go for it and concede a lot and score a lot when
You
it
like
works out.
Atalanta?
I see
Mhm.
the VR room has a question for you, Steve. You know, does Eddie Howe have the new improved entertainers, and will he deliver where Kevin Keegan failed in the past?
well, okay. About Eddie Howe, right? I'm really liking, obviously, who wouldn't, if you have Newcastle persuasion of like what he's done so far, right? My biggest question always was like, is he the guy long term or maybe even medium term, like 4 or 5 years, maybe 6? Which, to be honest, nowadays in football, with the managers going in and out of jobs, that kind of is long term. 6 years for a guy to stay at the club, you don't really see that too often. So, but what I do always like about Eddie Howe is that even when we have a rough stretch, we go on an unbeaten run for usually a bit longer than it was. So I remember last year where we had the Carabao Cup, that slip up, and then we had Liverpool in there. We had, I think, Aston Villa was also, they crushed us. I think it was around that time as well. So, but then we always respond with a good unbeaten run, and we've done well. And obviously last year in the league, getting to the Champions League, which is cool. But
Mm.
I'm honestly, I'm not too concerned about him staying for a while. To be honest, I'm not too concerned because he always does. He never gives you a reason to sack him, right? There's no reason right now to sack him because it's progressing really well. But who knows? Maybe our owners will want to take that next step up. Maybe, who knows? But will he deliver where Kevin Keegan failed in the past? I think he'll win us a trophy. I think he'll win us a trophy in the next 2 or 3 years. I don't see why not. No, I'm not saying a Champions League or Premier League, but an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, which is the one I'm in particular targeting, because you look at what Mourinho said about the Carabao Cup, it gives you that mid-season boost, right? It gives the players hunger. Not a lot of our players in our squad have won trophies before outside of Sven Botman, who won Liga with Lille. Trippier won La Liga with Atletico Madrid. Bruno G didn't win anything with Lyon or Atletico Paranaense. And trying to think, Isak didn't win anything. He might have won some with AIK Stockholm, but we don't have too many wins in the squad per se. So that would be just for me the Carabao Cup, and we were so close last year as well. So that would be something that I really, really target. So this game means a lot. This game means a lot to me because it's an opportunity.
Since we have you already, I'll let Poppy come in and start talking about what he thinks we're gonna do with our starting lineup, or maybe I'll get Jarvis to come in and say that since the room has
Jarvis
been
hasn't spoken in a
pumping
minute.
Jarvis right now. For
Yeah,
his
it's
likes.
okay. It's okay. It's very interesting listening to you guys. Yeah, with the lineup, starting lineup, you want to go through the starting lineup for tomorrow, our predictions, or should we just talk a little bit about it first?
I mean, we could go through it, and then after we could talk about everything because then it would make more holistic sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. So I will add a screen, and we will pick the team together. Us four, and VR room. So just come with your suggestions in the chat, guys. So here we have the lineup predictor. Let's see, where do I have it so I can. So let's start on the right back. That's pretty obvious because far as I know, Fambisaka is not ready yet.
No,
You
he
mentioned
probably
something
won't
to
be
that.
ready for another couple days, I guess.
Has to be Delo for you guys, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and right center back.
Varane, probably.
That's tricky. Varane didn't get minutes really last game, so yeah.
Yeah, but he's
Varane makes sense.
he's one game in, one game out. So I think he would play this game since they would rest him in time for the Champions League the following week.
Yeah.
Because then he would have to play. It's Sunday we play, right?
Yeah, Sunday we play Fulham, I believe. No,
Saturday.
Right.
no, Saturday.
Saturday, first
Saturday,
game of the day, right? 1:30.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
7:30 a.m. for me, but 12:30 UK. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I think he would play Varane and then he might play a young midfield, but that's just my I'm guessing with
Hmm.
this one.
Yeah, I suspect they will play Varane if he's injury free. I'm not sure why he didn't start against Man City. Ten Hag said it was tactical, but maybe he's carrying a knock. These tactician managers, they never share to give the opposition advantages. So maybe he's carrying an injury. We don't know, but
No,
it's usually.
I think he really believed what he said about the tactical thing, saying Johnny Evans and Maguire worked better for City's pressing, because he was asked not just once but twice, Jarvis, in the post-match
Okay.
press conference.
I don't
So
actually disagree with Ten Hag on that though, because if we look at the first half statistics, I think his tactics were spot on. I just think the penalty cost us. Maybe it didn't cost us initially in the first half, but it cost us in the second half because, if we were 0-0 and then they scored that first goal, I'm pretty sure it would have been a showdown to the end rather than a capitulation. You know what I mean? But that's just perspective and hindsight. So
I think the actual reason why I didn't play Varane was for this game, because this is the game you guys are more likely to. Well, first of all, obviously you guys were not favorites against Manchester City, so I don't think having Varane in the team would have changed that result. Right? It might have made it 2-0 maybe, but like you guys were never scoring in that game with the way you set up going forward or in midfield. It was never happening. Like
No.
it didn't. That's just me being real, right?
agreed.
So
agreed.
I think he rested him for this game, because in this game, and that's how I'm looking at it too. We don't have to beat you guys 1-0 or 2. We don't have to win the game in the 90. We can go to penalties and risk that. We could roll the dice. So, and I think that's probably what Ten Hag was doing there. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know. That's probably what I would have done, to be honest, because it's like it's a throwaway game versus City. Like I know that's a bad thing to say out loud, but like I don't think having Varane in that game, and it's easy to say, like you said, Mark, in hindsight, I don't think you guys would have won that game if Varane started.
Yeah, I mean, like I was thinking more of a draw. You nick a winner at the end, something like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Not like if we didn't have good chances. I really do think that he got the tactics right for the first half, though. I will defend the first half to the T because I think it was spot on.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
10 minutes, you guys had like one or two half chances, something like that. So that could have gone your way, and then maybe it's a different game. But City were just in control of that game for a large portion of it. So
Yeah,
Especially the second half.
especially the second half.
they peppered Onana, and Onana stood up and he made himself accounted. He he didn't shy away from it. So you guys must be a bit kind of that is something to take some minimal comfort out of that game for you guys. I
he's
would
turned the corner.
right, and I always thought he would. I liked Onana at Ajax. There were a mistake mistake here and there, and then Inter Milan as well. I didn't have any complaints. I thought he was very good for the most part.
Jarvis. I just think while watching you put Johnny Evans there, I feel that might be Maguire position in it.
Yeah, I'm just putting someone there to have something to discuss, because I'm torn between Evans and Maguire. I don't think there's a lot that differentiate them. I think it's like a coin flip, 50-50 for me who plays. I would personally prefer Evans, but
Yeah,
I don't know what you guys think.
Actually,
I would never play Harry Maguire in my team. Never. Like, okay, he's done well in some of the games, but like, I'm just gonna be honest here. That guy, I don't like. The thing that bothers me the most is his attitude. His attitude for me, and the way he always just talks when he doesn't need to. You ever have that friend when you go out to the bar with someone and they keep talking and they keep talking and they keep talking? It's like, you're gonna talk yourself into trouble here, bro. That's what Maguire does, right? He thinks he can pull all this and he can do all that. It's like, nah, dude. He needs to just, and he has been, to be fair, since the last international break. He's kind of kept his mouth shut and done well in the games that he can, right? Even though they're against not the greatest of opposition. So he just needs to do more of that for you guys. But that's always been the thing.
Poppy, but
like
I just had to put that comment up. It was blocking you out.
Lindelof.
Yeah, he could be an option. So we have to vote: Evans, Maguire, or Lindelof.
I'd love to
Um,
see Maguire play, but that's mine, obviously.
yeah, I think it's more gonna be either Evans or Lindelof for me in that position. Um, because Maguire seemed to be more on the right versus City, and Lindelof hasn't been involved in a long time, so you know
True.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
Lindy.
I think he'll play like a Lindelof. I think Maguire will be. You're right. I think he'll play versus Fulham.
Sergio Reguilon.
Left
That's
back, we don't have
Region. No
many
doubt.
options.
That's unanimous. Region.
It'll be
We're
Reguilon.
definitely gonna need somebody with pace
Oh.
to deal with Almiron.
Yeah.
If it's one man who just be on fire
Yeah.
against big teams as Almiron.
Miggy's frustrating though. He's very frustrating because he's so one-footed. He's so one-footed, man. Like
Hmm.
he only uses his left foot. He don't have any right foot whatsoever. So that is one thing where it's like when he can cut in and shoot, that's definitely a threat. He's always someone that he makes the team because he just runs up and down on that flank, which can allow Trippier to do that as well. Because then there's always someone running and gunning pretty much, right? Someone always, tracking down runners. Reguilon will have to be aware of Trippier as well. So
Yeah.
it's something that and that's our team philosophy at Newcastle. Energy, press. The press or organized press as well. So we
You sure you're starting Trippier though, Steve? Is it like a good idea?
I
to
think
start
Livermento and Lewis Hall will probably be right and left, but I expect Trippier to get some minutes.
Okay.
Definitely, if we're taking penalties, I would want him as one of the penalty takers, considering Isak is out. So
Set pieces are out of
Yeah.
this world.
yeah,
They're good. Usually
Yeah.
spot on.
I think Trippier has second most assists in the Premier League behind Neto, who got hurt against us, which is wicked sad. But yeah, I think Trippier. I don't think he'll play the full 90, but I think he'll get some minutes. Livermento, to be fair, was awesome when we played City in the previous round at right back. It was a very good display from him, particularly in the second half. So, yeah, I think Livermento will get. And I want Livermento to play more, right? Because he could play left.
He was excellent when he played for Southampton. He was really good one season. So at least half a season he played. I think he caught an injury or what happened, but but he was extremely good. He was one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League at that time. Yeah.
No, I'm excited.
Let's move on to the midfielders. Who will start in midfield for Man United next game tomorrow? We have the right defensive midfielder. I think our options is Amrabat or
McTominay.
I think Casemiro will play this game.
You think so?
He's back.
Yeah, because he didn't play this weekend. I don't think he will play against Fulham, or he might feature against Fulham, but I feel like Casemiro will be playing definitely in the Champions League, so he would definitely need some kind of game, to come in and get some minutes. And Ten Hag would be favoring to give him a first half. I think he would give him the first half and then bring on Amrabat as a substitution. I also think Hannibal Mejbri will start this game next to him.
He should, because it's like, what's the point? Mason Mount, clearly there's something. I don't know if Ten Hag realized he screwed up with that transfer. Again, another player where it's like, I just don't rate him whatsoever, especially the price. And playing at all. How long has he been fit for, Mason Mount? It's been like what?
Yeah,
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
He didn't do nothing in the City.
Like,
nothing.
To be fair, he came on in the City game and our midfield got worse. And people would say, like Reggie here, Amrabat, Mejbri, Mount in the midfield, but Mount offers nothing when the ball is lost. Unless the ball is lost where he's behind the ball facing the ball. When the ball behind him, he just sprinting back. And not like he's springing back to challenge the ball, he's sprinting back because he's so far ahead. Because if everybody look at the game on Sunday, the second half, it was disastrous.
Yeah.
His position was the open part in the midfield. Every time they win the ball, he was never there. So I don't think he's going to play because I think he's going to find it even harder to get game time in the midfield. I think his next position that he might play at might be right wing because he's definitely not working as a midfielder for Ten Hag right now.
Yeah. So I think it's hard to just pick one midfielder at a time because it's about how you compose the team. Yeah, so I think we will just select the 3 midfielders at once. Like how to select. My midfield is Amrabat, Mason Mount, and Hannibal Mabry.
Yeah,
I think that will be bring energy and legs. Maybe if Casemiro starts, I will put Amrabat on the bench, but I'm not sure about Casemiro.
Casemiro is a weird one.
I don't think Mount gonna play because his performance on Sunday was like disastrous. It was awful. Like I don't think he's gonna get a game in midfield again. And like Reggie saying this here, but if you come back and tell me Mason Mount stat, he had 0 progressive passes, that 0 key passes, 0 assists in the game. He still has 0 goals, and he has the most touches in the attacking box of any United player besides Højlund. So, if you want to say he's doing better than Bruno in our best game of the season, in Bruno's worst form, he's had better stats. So if we're talking stats here, you know what I mean? Even on the eye. Like, I would offer Mount as a right wing. I don't know why he's not played on the wing yet. I think that was his best position at Chelsea, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I've never seen him perform in the midfield for Chelsea other than on the wing. So when someone tell me Mount as an 8, I'm like, it's almost the same situation that Arsenal have with Kai Havertz, but worse. Because Kai Havertz is actually a better player than Mount. People don't do that.
It's 2 shocking players, to be honest. Like I don't even the debate of who's less worse or who's better. It's like that's like asking literally who's better between Maguire and Evans. It's like the couple brothers. Well, which one's more funny?
So if I had to choose a midfield, I would choose a midfield with Casemiro, Mejbri, and you definitely know Bruno gonna play this game. Worse if he rests Bruno this game, then you never know. You might see Scott McTominay in the 8. Which would be even worse. Like I wouldn't want to see that, but
I think if you guys started a midfield trio and not Mabry, because Mabry he's actually a good player. It looks like he's an up and coming talent. I think he looks decent. But if you guys played a midfield of McTominay, Mount, Mabry, Eminem, I would be furious, and I mean furious if we didn't get a result you guys and you played that.
That's 0 midfield, bro. That's like the only person would be working in that midfield would be Mejbri.
Yeah, Mejbri's exempt from that whole like rage, but like seriously, McTominay, Mount, we should be.
I hear you, Steve. I think I'm gonna go with the midfield combination of Casemiro was not even on the bench last game, so I'm a little bit wary.
He's fit.
He's fit.
I can tell you for sure. He's fit.
Played 2. He got 2 assists today, so he's definitely not going to start Kobe Mainoo. Okay, so it's Casemiro since he's fit. It's Casemiro and Amrabat and Mount. That's who's going to start for me.
Bro, like, all I really want to lose this game.
Man,
like everybody's selecting Mount. Everybody in the chat, Mount. Like Mason Mount and everybody select midfield here. And if we pull up Mason Mount statistics, he's statistically the worst midfielder on the
You don't even
United
have to
squad.
go that
Ten
deep.
Hag is gonna start him tomorrow.
Bro,
You
Ten
don't even have
Hag
to go
is
that
not.
deep,
I am
Mark.
telling you now, if Ten Hag start him tomorrow, bro, he only going and play Carabao Cup games for the rest of the season. I'm telling you. Because if Kobe
he's getting
Mainoo
a
get 2
brace
assists
tomorrow.
today,
We'll
Kobe
talk.
Mainoo get 2 assists today, Kobe Mainoo replaces Mason Mount, bro. Like I saying that with chest because in my opinion, what Kobe Mainoo did in preseason is better than what I see from Mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want Hannibal to play, but I don't think Hannibal nor Kobe Mainoo will
Hannibal
really
has been playing all the Carabao Cup games so far.
Yeah.
I think he will continue that trend. I think that is where he is grinding Hannibal out this season and playing that cup competition. So that's why I'm voting Hannibal will be in that midfield. So, maybe you could say Casemiro, Amrabat, Hannibal. That's not a bad midfield. Hannibal could sit in the 8 and Casemiro, or you could put either one of them. You don't even have to have a 10 there. Because at the end of the day, I think Casemiro creative enough to carry the ball. I think Medjugorje good enough to to progress with the ball. He will provide energy where they don't have the energy. He will do all the running. So Casemiro and Amrabat will just have to do. Amrabat will just have to break up play. Casemiro could, dictate the play, and all Medjugorje doing is all the leg work.
With Casemiro and Amrabat, it's about getting that chemistry in the midfield right. And I feel like Ten Hag has this opportunity to do that. And I agree with Luan, like even Hannibal deserves a chance, but he's going to pick Mason Mount over Hannibal. We'll ask them to be corrected tomorrow. We'll be there. We'll be doing the watch along. So
I will be
bring in the VAR room here and have some of their suggestions. I see Stephanie says she agrees with Jarvis. Really, Stephanie, thank you. You're my favorite. I'm about Hannibal and Mount. And we have, let's see. We have other. Oh, the chat is going nuts, sir.
Jarvis, don't say it, Jarvis. Don't hide it. Don't hide it, Jarvis. Don't hide it. I'm telling you now.
I see here Mark Davis saying drop Bruno. Yeah, we can all agree Bruno won't play tomorrow. But I saw a lot of other.
To go up to the top.
I need to go up.
All
Something happened with
the
the chat here. I lost all the suggestions. Can you find them for me, Mark?
There's one
Mark
there.
is my producer.
Yeah.
I'm old and useless. I hardly see without my glasses, and now I have my glasses and I don't see anyway. So it's just the way it is. But Mount outright, Garnacho, Højlund. Yeah, that's the attacking trio. Mabry, Amrabat, Casemiro. Yeah, so we go with 2 defensive and one with energy. We have Cass, Bruno, and Mabry. I don't think Bruno will start, but you never know. Good suggestion. Do you have any more? No, I don't.
I really hope it's McTominay, Mount, Mabry. That would
Steve doesn't want to walk.
That would make you guys cry, but that would be that would be good. McTominay.
Okay, we put in Casemiro.
Play. Yeah, Casemiro.
So this is the question: Is it Mount or is it Amrabat?
I would say if
he wants to keep his job, he plays Amrabat. If he doesn't, play
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the 10, we play Mabry or
Mabry.
He's the
people's
choice.
If you're not playing Mabry,
but Ten Hag's choice is gonna be Mount, guys.
No, it's gonna be Bruno or Mabry. I could bet anything on that right now. I'm so sure about it, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Listen to me. I watched Ten Hag scream at Mount fucking shit 4 times in the game yesterday, bro. I watch it, bro. I don't know if you all just be watching them things, but I just be watching it and I just write it down every time I get cussed. And when a man get cussed 3 times, I already don't see them. I don't see them start the next game. So you know what I mean. Only Rashford and Bruno getting away with our murder right now, but their day is coming up soon.
That's your strongest 3 in midfield. That
sure.
Yeah.
That's a solid midfield,
yeah.
Look how nice that midfield looking. You want to put Mason Mount at the top of that? A man with 0 creative ability, 007 still.
He's just not
Bro,
good.
Ten Hag thinks Mason Mount is creative. So
bro, I am telling you, he's
Oh.
never played him in the 10. He's always played him as an 8. So let me forget that creative part. Let me forget that part.
Okay, going once, going twice. Sold.
Sold.
Okay, we have a midfield: Casemiro, Amrabat, and Hannibal. So we go
Yes.
for the attack. Now we go one position at a time, and we can start on the right. So our options is Pilestri, we have Anthony, and we have Mount and Bruno, as I can see it. Do we have any other players?
Garnacho?
I feel
Garnacho.
Yeah.
Ganacho
Garnacho can
Palestri,
actually start
Hoyland,
on the right too.
maybe
If he
Ganacho
insists to play
Palestri,
Rashford.
Martial.
Means Garnacho, Anthony, Martial. That's the front three.
You don't think Rashford's playing?
No.
No.
I
He's
think he
got to
will
be
come on in the
hungover
second
or
half. I
something.
think he will come on in the second half. He hasn't started a Carabao Cup game in a while.
That's true. That's
So
true.
I think he using the Carabao Cup.
That's fair.
You know, I mean, then again, he playing Newcastle, you know, but so he might put Rashford, but you see, then
This
again,
is
you see,
a strong
listen,
lineup.
Ten Hag so weird.
This
He's
is
so
a
weird
strong lineup.
because Rashford went to party Sunday night. Not anything to do with he go and punish him. I feel like he will just play him in the second half.
True. Yeah.
I think he will give him a half a game because you see, he have to play on the weekend. He will definitely play him in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So you have to remember he will try to manage some minutes for Rashford because Christmas, the last month in November and December, it going to every 3 days.
Yeah, true.
So
I think
I would
he'll start Anthony. He'll start Anthony on the right. I think that's what he'll do. Because the young
Yeah,
guys.
he didn't play against City, so his
Yeah,
his legs for Rashford.
yeah, exactly.
and Anthony and
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna be the first to say this, guys. I don't know if anybody going to support this, but Anthony is due a big game, and trust me, I will be here for that when that big game land. You know
He's
what I mean?
talented.
Yeah.
He just doesn't work in a counter-attacking system.
Yeah, he need that. He need players to be making runs around him to pull defenders to create space.
And he has a score to settle with Burn.
Dan Burn from last season.
Yeah, you
Don't
think
worry,
Dan
you
Burn
know.
will play? Will Dan Burn play?
Why not?
No, I think Lewis Hall will probably get the start. I wouldn't be surprised though if Dan Burn starts.
I don't think Lewis Hall could handle Anthony. I'm being honest.
I mean, to be fair, with the way Anthony's playing, I think I could.
Yeah, I mean, you will say that on his form, right? But here, what I think your coach will think about it in the sense that you know what, this could be the game he turn up because look at it like this,
Like
right?
I said, he has
People,
that talent. Yeah.
fans will say he was petulant in that game, but managers will look at that kick he fell behind Doku and say he know the meaning of a derby. You know what I mean? No, I'm being
The
honest.
meaning of a derby is don't miss the tackle, Anthony. Why are you gonna go ahead and hit
that's okay, but
like swing your foot at somebody and pretend to be a UFC fighter when we're playing football? Anthony, play the football. Stop kicking people, man.
When Arsenal players start playing the football too, you could tell Anthony that because men playing rugby tackles out here, tackling above the waist and thing. I think like listen, right? I feel like derby games is games where you will see players make crunching tackles. I don't see crunching tackles as much anymore. You know what I mean? When you have our derby,
I just thought he was frustrated.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I thought he was frustrated too. By the way,
Jarvis told me he thinks Anthony has an anger management problem.
Yes,
did you say that, Jarvis?
No. I don't think it's anger management, but all Brazilians have a certain level of ignorance in them, like but there's growth to it because Vinny Jr. was just like that. The same thing with the next one who's playing the Rodrigo goes. He was real ignorant. Like as he used to run up on players, You know, all of them have that. They just grow out of that. It's just something they have in them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just saying,
Some
like
of
with
them.
all the experiences he had in the last 6 months, I think he deserve a little bit of slack. He deserve the bench as well. But
Hmm.
when he get games, I think fans should support him because I think the one thing we could guarantee that he does have is a strong mentality.
Yep. Yeah. I just want to check in with the VAR room and see what they think about the right winger. We have Alien Tenno coming in here. He says, "Oh no, this is not the one. This is the right one." Front three: Rashi, Martial, and Bruno. So Alien Tenno will go with Bruno on the right. George Best, he says Mason Mount.
Is the
I like
10.
says,
Yeah.
Martial. William Connolly suggests Garnacho on the right, as I believe. No, it's Pilestri he wants to play. And Manchi comes in and say Anthony stinks.
Yeah, but you know,
Big
I
up,
wonder
man.
how bad he is when Brazil selects him ahead of both Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus,
To
even
be
when they
fair, you
both fit.
don't want to be a part of this current Brazilian team. Let's be honest. That team is terrible. You got R9. I mean, Richarlison starting up front, bro, and they're playing like that, losing to
Steve nearly called him R9.
R9, my mistake, bro.
oh,
You don't call
Richarlison.
Richard Nelson
he is
R9, bro. You don't
gash.
call him R nothing.
Nah,
Richard Nelson.
that Brazil side is
He's
terrible.
Rich 9 or whatever, something else, not R9.
Rip off 9.
Rip off
Yeah.
9, exactly.
Yeah, I would like to see.
Hey,
I to be fair, I would like to see Palestri guys start. You know, I pretty much enjoyed his performance against Bayern. I think he did pretty well. He was not
yeah.
going to beat Alfonso for pace any day, but he was beating him for trickery. I think that's deserving of some appreciation. I think when he plays, he usually is a handful for defenders. He gets chances. You know, he gets into the box. He carries the ball well. And he's another player that has been making consecutive starts in the Carabao Cup. So, you know, it's like we saying Anthony, but you know, he might start
Roma.
Palestri and then bring Anthony in the second half. Because it's not a bad option to have against a strong side like Newcastle.
True.
You know?
Okay, so you suggest Pilestri on the right. I say Anthony. Football Power Hour, you say
Say Anthony is gonna start.
Anthony and Steve.
I think Anthony
Anthony.
will start for you guys.
Yeah. Going
Papi,
once,
I feel
going
like you need
twice.
to do this
So
message, you know. But you know, just leave out the first part, but the second part, because no one did it in the chat for all day, you know.
Oh, happy birthday to Marcus Rashford. He has scored a lot of goals for us. We have to acknowledge that. It's not a good moment right now, but happy birthday, Marcus Rashford. Big up to you.
big up.
Hopefully, you play as a 26-year-old now with a little bit more maturity. You know?
Okay, let's move. Let's move on. We have the left winger. I think we have Rashford or Garnacho. I think those are the only options. Maybe Martial. So, who will go first?
I'm going with Garnacho on the left and then Martial up front. That's what I feel like. Martial hasn't had a start in a long time. He's managing Rasmus minutes, so it makes sense for him to just start Martial and then and just bench Rashford for once, Eric. Please.
Okay. So, Mr. Trinidad, what's your preferred left winger? Who's your preferred left winger?
Garnacho. I would say
Garnacho.
Garnacho and Martial because I quite think that, you know, Hoyland deserve a little bit of a rest. And and you know, Rashford need a little rest too. He could come on in the second half. I think, you know, the big thing for me is like not about the starting 11 really, it's about how we change the game and impact the game going forward from the second half. And I feel like it's always good to have players like a player like Marcus Rashford come in from the second half because people say he's a moment player, right? Purple patch player when he's on form, unstoppable, and all these things. I actually think that it serves him. He is this is a it would be a better service to him to make him a substitute, like him come off the bench like a super sub and let Garnacho start or someone else start off the left. You know, because
Mm.
then you give Rashford tired legs, tired minds to run at in the second half and do whatever you want to do. And he does it for England, and every time he comes on halftime for England, he score a goal. And that's a statistic I don't like to see because I think
Scoring for
we
England
depend.
don't help us.
Huh?
Scoring for England don't help us.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like I still waiting to see the game he played for England 2 weeks ago. Today, that
Yeah.
was amazing against Italy. I'm an Italy fan, so I was disappointed and mad and frustrated at the same time because I haven't seen that in 11 games of the season before. So it's like, wow, you could do this still. You know what I mean? So like, I would like to see Marcus Rashford come on as a substitute, get a 45 minutes rest on his legs because he's playing a lot of football and it's just not clicking yet for him. Maybe a little bit of frustration and rest might do some wonders. So I'll go Garnacho and
I would
Martial.
leave Rashford out of the squad. I would just give him the day off.
Give him a Sir Alex 2-week vacation. That's what I would do.
Yes.
100%.
That's
Why
what
not?
has to be done because he's in such terrible form. He's capable of better for you guys. He's capable. He's not my cup of tea. I think he's a good player that is inconsistent season by season. So I think this might be one of those terrible seasons where he gets like 4 or 5 goals maybe. But yeah, he needs some time off. He's just not. He's not. You look at him. You look at him. Jarvis, Pappy, Mark, front three.
Oh, wow. 0 goals.
No, man. I don't know about Papi, but I used to play football. I feel like we will do some things.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I've got a very
We'll
good
put Papi up. We'll
technique.
put Jarvis up front, and Papi go play left wing.
Hey, you need rest after, hey, in the comments. You need some rest after a birthday party, man. I mean,
Right?
he don't deserve to play. He don't deserve to. If he keeps playing every single game, he's just not gonna score. You need to change something else, right? Like players should be I don't care what league, what club, whatever's going on. If you're out of form, you deserve to get benched. That's just
I totally agree with that.
and that's the way it should go for any sport, basketball, whatever sport.
Yeah.
If you're not playing well, you should be on the bench. It's someone else's turn.
And Hug should be like, there's a slice of cake under the bench for you, Rashford.
To be fair, like I'll be honest, right? I don't even think, regardless of how well a player doing, they deserve to start week in, week out. Because when I used to watch Alex Ferguson, sometimes some players have a great game. The next game, they're on the bench. You see Nicky Butt starting, you see this next player starting, a young Michael Carrick coming in the midfield. You know what I mean? So like for me, even though you're playing in a red hot form, you could still come off the bench in a second half and win the game if the team need you. You know what I mean? Because conservation is always good as well. You know what I mean? Keeping the energy levels high is the main goal. And if you could rest one of your best players against a weak team and still win, that is when you know your team performing as a squad. So I feel like we need to have more rotation going on, more rotation in the squad. So
that's if Ten Hag. That's assuming that Ten Hag actually cares to keep his job. Which
I think listen to what I'm going to think about this. I think he knows he will keep his job. I think he was getting,
man. I think he's,
but
I gotta be honest because he's making some crazy choices. He's making some crazy choices.
I think some of his choices are crazy too, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of the problems stem with some of the effort levels of some players on the field.
Yeah.
I feel like some players give effort and some others not giving that extra effort.
He's trusting the wrong guys. Huh? He's trusting the wrong guys.
I think so. For real. So like at the same time, I can't say he out of his depth. I just say he making mistakes, and all managers make mistakes. And for his first season, he did well. He don't have that defense to fall back on this season.
Yeah.
So he doing it differently. At the same time, fans had to be honest with themselves. If we want to go forward and progress, thinking Eric Ten Hag is out of his depth is crazy. Because we already know that some of these players shifting from a counter-attacking style of play, from another type of total football play, and another system under Mourinho. Right? So it's going to have some issues. The manager need to have the patience and given the latitude to make mistakes, find the right formula, find the right starting 11, especially when he get all the players fit. Because we already know if everybody was fit, we have a strong defense.
If it's the same as last year, if you can replicate if everything goes to plan, then you can say.
Well, when I say I'm not saying replicate, because like I focus on the defense. If we get the starting defensive unit back, I think whoever in front of them in midfield is relative to the fact as important as it is right now. Because then remember, the guys in front now have to protect a weak back four. So it's like different. If you have a strong back four, the midfielders, like even the system with Mason Mount might work better.
Big shout out to Alien. Big shout out to Alien for being the plug to Eric Ten Hag. And now that's how we got a crazy lineup versus Man City.
You know,
all Alien's fault, guys.
He was getting stuff from the Caribbean, but the moment he gone UK, fertilizers and the thing, you know what I mean? They use a miracle growing.
Thank you for the super chat, Alien. But stop selling someone out. Change the strain. Sell Ten Hag a different strain, please.
Don't get us demonetized. Kids, not the drugs.
At the end of the day, guys, like we could say all this and that. I really don't think we see his best 11. I think everybody have the different ideas of what the best 11 for Manchester United is. But I would always say this: Eric Ten Hag is not me. He's not you. He's not any one of you all. Right? So we might be looking at players and saying, these players, I rate them. And he might be looking at those players and saying, I don't rate some of these players. So I just being realistic from what I'm looking on, trying to be as neutral as possible, because I could want a lot of things. Like I would like Sancho to come back because I think he fits our system perfectly. Right? I think Sancho.
That's a whole nother discussion. We can't go into that now, Mark.
I'm just saying.
Let's just move back to the lineup, and we got
Sancho on the left
winger. Everybody, I think the VAR room decided Garnacho. I saw all the votes for Garnacho
and Martial.
So we just gonna do a quick vote. One word, Poppy, your man.
Garnacho and Martial.
Steve left winger.
I think he'll play. He'll give it a chance to like not Pilastri.
Garnacho.
Yeah, Garnacho. Yeah. I think he'll get it. Yeah, because Pilastri seems to get no minutes.
No, he wasn't even in the squad.
You see, that part worries me with Pilastri, but it's not like I don't think Eric Ten Hag rates Pilastri. I think he rates him. I just think in his mind, he's not ready for him to use him yet because he's unable to utilize him. With the current squad, he don't have players that will make Pilastri actually reach the levels now. Because Pilastri, people might say I'm crazy, but he just remind me of Bernardo Silva a lot. Just the way his low center of gravity and how he's control the ball and how he's run. He look like Bernardo Silva on the ball and all for me. So he don't have the passing range yet, but he's still young.
He's still young. So now we go to the striker. We have two options on the striker position. As I see it, we have Martial and we have Højlund. Højlund is a much better player at the moment. So the question is, will Ten Hag rest Højlund for this game or will he play him? The option is Martial, the glass man. Can he start and will he be able to play 90 minutes without jumping out on crutches? That's my question.
We all know the answer to that question, Jarvis. It's a bit of a one.
It is.
that guy cannot stay fit. He just can't. Injuries are destroyed. I like him a lot at Monaco.
Steve, it's a little weird. Ever since we've got Højlund, Martial has suddenly, improved in fitness, and he's not as injury prone as last season,
Right.
which is so strange. Is what almost approaching the third international break, and usually he would be on his third injury by now.
He ain't playing much. That's the
Yeah,
one.
true.
And
5 minutes
I
here
think
and 5 minutes there.
Ten Hag is handling him like he. That's why he hasn't gotten injured. To be fair, because he hasn't had any opportunity to. Because how many minutes has he played? Like it's not too many.
Yeah.
That's probably part. I think he'll start Martial though. I think he will. Because again, he played Hoyland, and he'll probably play Hoyland in the Fulham game, and then he'll play against Copenhagen away. That's what it is. But who knows?
Yeah. So Steve goes for Martial. Poppy, you choose Martial.
Yes.
That's also my choice up front this game. We can have Hoyland on the bench if Martial gets injured. So I think we will be fine. Mark, what's your preferred option?
Martial.
Martial, yeah. Okay, then we have it. This is the starting 11. We have Onana in goal. We have Reguilon on left back, Lindelof, Varane, centre back, Stalo, Casemiro, Amrabat, Hannibal. We have Garnacho on the left, Anthony on the right, and Martial up front. So what do you reckon, Steve? Is this a strong lineup? Do you fear this lineup?
Yeah, I fear it because your two players who are like your two best players are out of the lineup and they're terribly out of form. So I would not really want to go up against that because it's like I rate Amrabat, I rate Casemiro, even though he hasn't been in. I just think he's just going through a bit of a rough patch in form personally. I don't think he's completely fallen off. I just think he's going through some bad form. Maybe he is going to the age where it's like he's just declining, but I think it's just poor form personally. Mabry again, that's a player like he should be playing over a Mason Mount or a Bruno or whatever. So it's like again, yeah, that's an upgrade right now because he'll have something to prove. But the one thing that is interesting is what if these young kids take a chance? If they let's say they play, the usual logic is well, they're gonna play awesome. They're gonna show the manager their chance. But the problem is when Ten Hag says things like I'm gonna play Rashford regardless, if you're a young player and if you have a good game, you know that the manager said Rashford ain't going nowhere unless it's one of these Carabao Cup games. So that must be frustrating as a young player like a Garnacho or Pilastri because it's like, bro, I could play amazing against Newcastle tomorrow, score a goal, assist, or just a good performance, a good account. But he's gonna play Rashford. He's gonna play Bruno because he does it every single time. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they're gonna play their best because they're pros. They're looking to, make that statement. But I don't know, like that lineup. Yeah, that I wouldn't want to play that lineup really.
As I see it, I think this is one of our strongest lineups at the moment because we Bruno and Rashford, yeah, they are the bigger names, but they are not informed this season and haven't performed anything, this season. So I think this will actually be the worst lineup for Newcastle at the moment, as I see it, because it's a strong lineup. I think it's balanced. We have Mabry who will have some legs. He will press. We have Garnacho. He will challenge Trippier. I don't know if Trippier is starting this game. We have Anthony. I think Anthony is ready to play again. You could see it against City. He came in. He wasn't happy with starting on the bench and just playing a couple of minutes. Martial has something to prove. Casemiro is back with Amrabat, so Casemiro can roll more freely, go forward, and I think our defense is okay at the moment, as I see it. Of course, we miss Martinez and Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, but this is a okay defense.
Do you miss Luke Shaw? That's my question. Do you miss Luke Shaw?
Yes and no, because in a way
I don't rate Luke Shaw personally. Again, I think he's a good fullback, not a top of the line one. But I do have to respect the fact that he played a lot of minutes and you guys were defensively good last year. I just don't think Reguilon on the drop off is a game changer per se.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Luke Shaw in left centre back is phenomenal.
Yes,
I
yes,
think
exactly.
I think
That's where I
I
play.
think Luke Shaw new position from next season or when he returns in January. Well, this is left to be seen, but if that young man returns from Granada in January, I think Luke Shaw is returning to play centre back.
Alvaro
And I
Fernandez.
think Alvaro is going to sit in that left back position because that young fella, he
He's
looks
playing
more
good.
press resistant than
Yeah.
Amrabat.
Yes,
Mm.
Swear,
definitely.
swear down on that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I enjoy Luke Shaw bombing forward, and I enjoy the Luke Shaw who has competition. So we need to see what the effect of Serge Reguilon is going to do on Luke Shaw. We know when he has a new somebody breathing down his neck for that position, he becomes world class. Luke Shaw, all of a sudden, Beto Carlos comes out. So
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait. We'll see. But I agree with you, Mark. I loved his performances versus Haaland and Lewandowski and left center back. So why not just put him in there? Whenever
Yeah.
we don't
See,
have Martinez, he can be a very good center back, and we should just keep that chemistry going with him and Onana. Let's try and work out a chemistry for Luke Shaw and whoever the partner will be, whether it's Varane or Maggie or whoever, you know. But yeah.
So, how do you believe Newcastle will line up against this team tomorrow, Steve? They have a lot of injuries at the moment. I heard.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. So we've got what is it? We've got guys like obviously Isak out. We have guys like Botman out. We have Joe Ellington's actually back. He'll play.
Jacob Murphy is out.
Yeah, Jacob
Harvey
Murphy,
Barnes.
he'll be the surgery. Harvey Barnes, obviously. So that's
Anderson is out as well. Yeah.
Anderson, Lewis Miley. Yeah. So I think my friend sent me a lineup that he thinks we'll go with. Where is it? He thinks it's gonna be. I don't think Dubravka's playing, so I'm gonna change that to Pope. I think it'll be something like Pope, Livramento, Paul Dummett, Lascelles, Target, Matt Target left back, which I would not want to see at all, to be honest. A midfield three of it gets better. Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes, and Joe Willock. I like Joe Willock. He's just coming back from injury. He would be the playmaker out of that, and Bruno sit deep and Longstaff do everything else. That's cool. And then Anthony Gordon, false nine, Joe Ellington on the left, and then Almiron on the right. I think that's something that'll probably. It's not our strongest team by far, but like Livermore, I want him to play more minutes, definitely.
So you don't think Callum Wilson starts?
Nah, because again, it's like with Martial, but to a way less extent. He is injury prone, and he does pick up knocks, and we don't have Isak. And also, if you remember during the U21 Euros over the summer, Gordon played as a false nine, albeit it was in a 4-4-2, but he played alongside Morgan Gibbs-White for the England U21s when they won it was the World Cup or the Euros, one of those. And he played good. He played good. So I think he'll try out like Anthony Gordon false nine. And then if we go to penalties, he'll sub on Wilson just before for like maybe Almiron.
Wilson scored a penalty for you guys, right? In the brace versus Wolves,
yeah.
Right? He scored a penalty. So he's in form.
Yeah, he's got 7 goals in 9 games in the Premier League, and Isak also has 7. That's one of the strengths of our team when both are fit, because that's not many teams have 2 strikers that can get you about. I would say Wilson and Isak at their maximum. I expect about 20 across all comps, maybe 25 at a stretch from one of them, and the other gets like 18. That's pretty good. That's 43 goals between those two in all comps. That can take you places. And then you can have Wellington chip in with 2 or 3. You can have Gordon, who already has 3 in the Premier League. Trippier can get the assists. So it's like, I see where we're going with it. Longstaff has 2 or 3 goals this season in all comps as well. Almiron can get you, I think last year he had like 9. I don't think he'll get that this year. Maybe in all comps. So it's like we have like a team where it's like we can get a few goals. Willock, Willock can get you some goals as well and some assists if he comes back firing, because he can be the playmaker out of that midfield three. So I like Joe. I'm really glad that Joe Willock's back, and he's probably the X factor tomorrow if he plays.
I can see here Total Football, one football app. They suggest this team as the suggested team for the game tomorrow. Pope in goal. You have Target, Lascelles, Shar, and Livramento, Guimares, Joleton, Willock, Gordon on the left, Almiron, and Wilson.
Like I would take that 11 right here, right now. I would take that.
But by the way, Steve, like I think Almiron got double digits Premier League goals. I only remember this because we do a little Friday quiz, and he had a flurry of goals that just came back to back last season. And
in October, November.
In October, exactly in October.
11 and 34, which ain't bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if he can get something like that in all comps, I'll take that all day.
For a player that's apparently from the MLS, and like that's really good. I really was so impressed by his performances.
That just shows Eddie Howe's his coaching ability, because he was all blood, guts, and thunder, but no end product with Steve Bruce. I mean, goddamn, what an awful coach! But Eddie Howe's an actual coach.
Yeah.
That's why he's maximizing the performances out of Almiron, Dan Burn, Shar, Lascelles, who else? What's it called? Longstaff, Joe Ellington, obviously with the position change from striker to midfield. So it's like I really like Eddie Howe as a coach. It's impressive what he's done.
Yeah.
So let's see what
I agree. Eddie Howe has really impressed me. He was really good when he was in
Bournemouth.
Right. No, Bournemouth, sorry.
Yeah.
And he was one of the biggest coach talent that I have seen in the Premier League in a long time. And
offensively, yeah, because he got a lot of goals out of that Bournemouth team. But what I like about Eddie Howe, is that he realized, because in those 5 years at Bournemouth, the defense was always not the priority. He, like you said, Jarvis, a very good coach going forward. Good football, 4-3-3 still does that. What he did though was he realized when he left Bournemouth that they got relegated. He was like, okay, I need to fix up the defensive side of the game. Not many coaches can admit that they did wrong or that they had to improve that stuff. So he went and did some work with Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid, and he went around Europe with some rugby clubs as well, and just looked at the culture. He just evaluated himself as a manager, and we've seen improvements. So, yeah, I'm impressed. I think he'll be around for a while. For a while. So,
everybody in Newcastle or in England believed that he was just like a stepstone manager when the Saudis came in, and he was just going to get fired after a while, and you guys would bring in like a big name, but he has defended his place, and I think he will stay for a long time. And I see the Saudis, they are doing something different. They're not doing the Manchester City style and bringing in big names. They are like building stone for stone. Like they have brought in Tonali and Bruno Gomes, but even those guys are not like the biggest names from the top shelf.
Tonali definitely was a statement signing, but you're right. It was a tier below the whole. I agree with that. But
so when we see this lineup here, we see Livramento. He will come up against Garnacho. His defense is not his strongest side. I think that will be a field day for Garnacho, to be honest. But we will see. How will Target do against Anthony? Is he any good?
I don't rate no, not particularly. I would much rather have what's his face, Dan Burn play, or Livramento play left back and just here, get the pads on, get out there, bro. Because like, I really want to win this game. I really want to. This game, this whole the tournament in general, especially with the teams left in it, Like, we knocked out Man City. Like, let's do that for a purpose, you know? Like, I don't want that to all just be a wasted kind of exercise. So I would play a stronger lineup than this, but I am being realistic at the same time where it's like, yeah, he is going to rotate. It is only round 3. If it was a final or semi.
Yeah, your lineup, your next fixtures are also kind of like important.
Yeah, we got Arsenal on Saturday. We got
and
Arsenal.
then Dortmund, right after Arsenal.
Dortmund away. So yeah,
Nice.
You're in trouble.
This is. But here's the thing. This is. I like this because this will really show what Eddie Howe's made of, right? How well he can navigate through this. If he can get 2 wins out of the next 3, and if one of them is a draw and it's tomorrow, and we get maybe lose on pens or something, win the next 2. That's pretty. That's if we can get 2 wins out of the next 3, that
We'll be happy.
I like that. I like that prediction you have there.
Yeah, lose on penalties, right?
Penalties.
I
Win
like
the
it.
next 2.
I think
Take
it will
3
be
points
involved.
from Arsenal, most importantly.
I mean, that game is obviously super important because it's Arsenal in the Premier League at home on a on a 12:30 kickoff. So
Oh, wow.
At home, you hosted Arsenal.
yeah,
Papi, we had to do a watch along for that game, but
game.
we had to pray Arsenal lose, Papi.
Right.
But
Yeah.
these next 3 games are a big test for Eddie Howe and the guys. I'm very eager to see how we. Very interested. So
I agree. Before we end this Newcastle talk, I just want to say one of the players who have impressed me most in this year's Newcastle team is Anthony Gordon. I think he has been really good. He has impressed me. He was a good signing, like a little bit underrated when he came from Everton. People didn't quite know what to expect, but he's versatile. He can play in both sides and even as a center forward. But I think he's been really good. He scored 3 goals this season and 2 assists, and he's been impactful and played a lot of minutes. What's your thoughts about Anthony Gordon?
Bro, he just fits. He's an Eddie Howe player because he will run his nuts off for the full 90. You need to have that if you want to play. And he just goes for it. He just goes for it. Like with Anthony, I hate to do this, but it is an example that's relevant. It's like with Anthony, you never just see him go for it. It's always got to be side to side. There are side to side wingers, and then there's do go. More direct. Just I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you somehow, some way. And Gordon, like towards the end of last year, he played against Chelsea, scored, and then, like I said, in the Euros or the World Cup, whatever it was for England U21s, he played pretty much every game and was player of the tournament, I think, in that. And then he carried it in a preseason. I watched him in the States, and it was like, wow, all right, cool. He's built up a nice groove, and he is now established himself as a starting 11 player, which is very hard to do. It's very hard to do, even with our injuries, because we still at the time had Harvey Barnes, still had Almiron. Joe Ellington has played at left wing before.
Yep.
Isak can also play off the left. Then you have Murphy. So it's like there's a lot of guys that can occupy those wing spots. So it's like I think Gordon, I'm very impressed. I'm very, very impressed. And he's played himself into form. It wasn't great against Wolves, but it was always gonna end like the amazing form. We all he didn't have a great game against Wolves, so maybe he'll switch him up. I don't know, but he's been really good this season for us. I've been impressed.
I feel that he have cemented his place into the starting 11. He's played. I think he's played. Let's see his stats. He's played how many minutes? 900 and something minutes this season. So 991 minutes this season.
He's played every Champions League game.
He's played everything.
He's played every Champions League game. That's the elite of the elite. If you're playing every game in that, and like I said, we had those wing positions. That does say something.
Yeah.
Like Drex was saying here, you Manchester United, we don't have players who's run their socks off. we do have some, but not the majority, and it should be the majority because Holland will run his socks off. You know what I mean? I think Garnacho will run his socks off. I think Medri will run his socks off. You know, Rabatas run his socks off. Serge Reguilon will run his socks off. Even the low. So, like, I'm looking forward to how the team progresses over the next 10 games because I would like to see Anthony's link up with Hoyland because for now only Rashford creating a little bit of links on it. You know what I mean? And I would like to see how Anthony starts getting into linking up with the striker as he starts getting more game time. Even Palestri, you know what I mean? Anyone who playing on the right wing, even Garnacho, you know what I mean? So in the starting 11, well, according to the one that we pick, I think we have a couple players that will run the socks off in our starting 11. Like the one that we picked. You know what I mean?
It has to be a team effort. It has to be a team effort. And when one guy's doing it and the other one isn't, why would you? It's just like at all of our jobs. If someone isn't pulling their slack and you're giving it your all, some people have that mentality where they'll keep going and doing their thing, but others will be like, "This guy ain't pulling his weight. Why do I have to? He's not getting hollered at. He's not." It's one of those. And that's again something that like Eddie Howe's done real well. Like we press as a team. It's organized and it's everyone has to pull their own weight because if someone doesn't, then it's pointless doing it, to be honest. So but yeah, you've got guys that'll work hard in your team. But then that's the other problem. You can work hard, but that doesn't mean you're a good player. McTominay. You can work
that's been the issue.
Like Mount, like Mason Mount.
Like Mason Mount. We can say whatever we want about them. I don't rate either of them, but they do work hard. They just don't have quality, really. Except McTominay when it comes to striking the ball inside the box. Other than that, though, no, he's not very good. Just full stop. But
so I see here George Best says 40 likes. Stephanie, keep count of the likes. So that's good. 40 likes. Thank you, guys. William Conley says something about Alien Tenno, who's making some jokes. Last time I ran my socks up was in Baba. I didn't get the last
in a Dodge banner.
Dodge banner. Okay. Yeah. So so let's go to predictions, score predictions for tomorrow's game. Poppy, what's your score prediction?
2-0 Man United.
2-0 Man United. Who will be scoring the goals?
It'll be an own goal from Newcastle, and then like we score from a free kick.
We suck at Old Trafford. We're awful. We haven't beat you guys since Johan Cabaye scored that free kick.
Wow!
In the yellow shirt, bro. That's how long it was.
A long time. But you drew last season. 0-0.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So that's why I am a bit optimistic. I'll have a better idea of the line. This is a lineups game. I hate doing it. So that's why I'll play it safe, go for a draw. I think we just have a bit more optimism at the moment than you guys. So that's why I'll give it to Newcastle win on penalties, but it'll be a 1-1 draw in the 90.
Yeah, okay. Mark.
I actually think United gonna win 3-1.
Which one? I think which United?
3-1, yeah.
Both.
Clarify.
Every time I predict a 2-1, it doesn't work out too well for us. But when I predict a 3-1, we usually win. So I think United have a good chance of scoring some goals. We at home. Yeah. I don't think Eric Ten Hag got the tactics wrong in the first half. I think the first half was fine margins. We could have gotten a penalty and given John Stones a red card in the first half before he finished with the pull on Hoyland. If he, just know to take the fall and dive and go, just like other players do, you know what I mean? So I think, after I watched that first half, I didn't like the second half, but I could understand it at the same time because our players, we always talk about their weak mentality. It's not all of them, but some of them in critical sides. And if you look at where somebody the play came in the midfield, Mount wasn't there, Rashford wasn't tracking back, so that whole left side there was cutting through there. That's where Haaland got his goal. There was doubling up on Lindelof, doubling up on Delo. So, like, in my honest opinion, I think we're gonna win the game tomorrow. So it'll be a
By
tough
what?
game.
By
Though. I don't think it'll
3-1?
be yeah. I think it'll still be a tough game.
I don't know which one is more crackhead, your prediction or my prediction, because I went with a clean sheet.
Yeah, I think Newcastle have enough threats on goal. They might pop up with something. You know what I mean? Anthony Gordon
I
has
think
having a
both
good
teams will
season so
score.
far.
That's why I said 1-1, because I think both teams will score. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I think I think that's pretty that's a pretty reasonable prediction. Both teams will score tomorrow. Yeah. Do I think it'll be enough for either? No, not in the 90. I think it's going to penalties. 1-1.
Okay. My score prediction for tomorrow is if Bruno and Rashford is on the bench, I believe things will click. I think we will see the players enjoy themselves. It will be like a rerun of the last round with Crystal Palace when we beat them 3-0. I hope that we can play good football, get some confidence into the team. Winning, yeah, I believe we will win by 2-1. But what I really want to see is things started clicking again. I want to see some identity. I want to see some styles from Ten Hag, and I think playing Hannibal is actually very important because we get some tenacity, we get some aggression, we get some legs into the field.
Something new, refresh.
Yeah. So this is my hope and prediction. I see the VAR room. We have a lot of some. I say Mark Davis says 1-1. Lily says 3-1 to Newcastle. Actually, so it's not that optimistic. Alien Tenno, he comes in with a cheeky 3-1. That's good. Alien
United,
Tenno.
though. Which United? We can't be doing this, man.
And we have EJ Superfly says 2-1 Newcastle. So as you can see, the VAR rumors are not that optimistic as the panel. They believe like it's 50-50 United or Man United and Newcastle United. I say Lucky Singh comes in here with a 3-2. So it's a home win.
If this game was at St. James's Park, which it isn't, so whatever. But if it was at St. James's Park, would your guys' predictions be different?
Oh, hell yeah.
Slightly.
For me, yes.
I would say probably a 1-0 or maybe a 2-1.
That's fine.
Stealing a win at the end of the game or something like that. At the end of the day, right? We not playing well, but we grabbing results.
Yeah.
Right? 14 out of 14 games, we win 7. So technically we're 50-50. Right? Now people might say laugh at that
That's
and
a
say that's
failing
not good
grade
enough and whatnot,
in
right?
American school, man. In American
But
school.
remember, we going through our rebuild. A rebuild, right? A whole rebuild, total rebuild. And in any proper rebuild, players must leave. And the manager not allowing to get rid of players he want out and have to play them now to this day. I think that is a disgrace, an utter disgrace. For any football club playing in a top league, that's an utter disgrace. Because any manager that allowed to get rid of players they don't want and bring in players they want is have some form of success. Look at Spurs, for example. I know they're not in the conversation whole night, but I just want to draw an example to speak.
Yeah.
7 of the players that start in Spurs right now were on Conte list to leave the club. 4 of them was on Jose Mourinho's list to leave the club before Conte came in, right? And now 7 of them are starting. And the players who were brought in last season and the season before from Mourinho and Conte are the ones that are being sold.
Yeah,
so when fans talk about
Dyer don't play, don't play, Davies don't play, Højbjerg don't play, Skip don't play, and those are all guys that were in that team. What's the other one? The right back Emerson Royale don't play. He gets minutes from the bench, but they're all replaced. They're all replaced. You're right.
some fans say the Spurs sold Harry Kane and they are top. You know,
It's crazy.
I just say something about Harry Kane and everybody's be mad at me for saying it, but I
I'll
don't
say
rate Harry Kane at all
Probably agree
because
with
Harry Kane has scored goals that don't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the big games that matter most, when his team need him to score the most, he doesn't come up.
That's why
And
he
that's
has
why I
zero
will never say
trophies.
Harry Kane is a great footballer because, in my opinion, he sits at no great table of footballers or strikers because they all won something. He spent a decade in football and didn't win nothing. You know?
For Bayern,
Nothing.
he'll win something, most likely.
Well, yeah, hopefully, but you know, he had a chance to break that duck in the first game he played, and he shot it. So, I mean, the big game trauma still with him. You know, he might win the season with Bayern, but as natural, Bayern would have win the season without him in any way, in my opinion. I think it's the Champions League that's going to say something for Harry Kane. So far, he's been in good form. You know what I mean? But I mean, at the end of the day, like I don't really rate him that well, and I think Tottenham would have been a better team without him because the style of football Tottenham want to play, no team want a striker who plays deeper than the number 10. And he don't even have the pace to keep up with the number 10. That makes no sense.
Well, also, Harry Kane leaving means everyone else has to step up. No more. Harry Kane can't bail out.
I know, but at the same time, bro, you can also look at it like this. A lot of players were being forced to give Harry Kane the ball. Everything was going through Harry Kane. So now they don't have to give Harry Kane the ball. Players can do things.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, now they actually have a number 10 and Son playing in his best role, striker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Son famous for being a striker in South Korea, so and even in Germany. So playing in striker is his best role. So like, you know, at the end of the day, I think we are to call spades and spades a spade. And you know, I think credit to Ange Postecoglou, but at the same time, you know, he had a team of players that stylistically fit the system he wanted to play, which is a total opposite to Eric Ten Hag. You know what I mean? Total opposite. So when people compare Spurs to Man United, I say wait until January before you compare Spurs to Man United because Man United could be playing shit now and go on a 20-game unbeaten streak. We did it last season. So I remind fans, United, you know, we have a certain thing in our history that every season we could be house shit. There is a 10 to 20 game winning streak in Manchester United. It's historical.
Not a 20-game winning streak. Not a 20-game win unbeaten, sure.
Unbeaten, but you know, 10-game winning unbeaten, a streak of good results in Man United DNA from ever since ever. It's like since Alex Ferguson days. Every time Man United could be wherever coming out of Christmas under Alex Ferguson, always top of the league.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day. It's some things that you cannot take out of a team, no matter how much the team changed, that atmosphere is always still there in some way, shape, or form. So I feel like although the manager not getting it right now, he will definitely get it right at some time. Listen, hey, Will, cool it, bro. It's not that serious.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, I see we are rounding the 1 hour 30 minutes mark. Do you guys have any last words about the game tomorrow or anything else? Feel free. Now's your time. You want to go first?
Just get the damn draw and get the pens. Just get the hell out. Just please. I want a Carabao Cup so bad. I'm tired of. I need a trophy. Just go and do it tomorrow. Man United are not in good form. They're gonna have to play a weekend team and whatever. Just get the damn job. Just get the job done, please, somehow.
Steve, this is the best time to play us. But if it all goes to penalties, though, Onana, I have a lot of faith and confidence in Onana to kind of save 2 penalties or something. If it goes to that extent, but
we
will be there any case. Man United 2-0 versus Newcastle. You heard it here first. That's my prediction.
I wouldn't be surprised. It was terrible at Old Trafford. I wouldn't even be surprised.
Stephanie said we should just start with penalties. No open play. Let's just go.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. I think it's going to be a decent game, guys. It's going to be a good watch. We are defending our title of our Mickey Mouse Cup, guys. At the end of the day, you know, I think it's going to be a decent game to watch. We're playing a good team in Newcastle. We're going to be at home. The fans are going to be up for it as usual. You know, the Old Trafford faithful will be there supporting the team. You know, guys, so like I think we should all, have some sense, even Steve, he should be very optimistic about his chances tomorrow. We should also be the same. I mean, City is the best team in the league, right?
Mm.
There's no denying
Yeah.
that. And any fan in this chat room here thinking that if we had gotten Harry Kane, we'd be challenging for a league this season,
No.
I implore you to drink some coffee and stop drinking delusion. Because
Yeah.
thinking United should challenge for a league this season is insanity. Right? We are in a rebuild. And anyone could say what they want about my thoughts on that. But a rebuild means reconstruction from the beginning. And if we starting from the ground up, it do include anybody like Harry Kane. It do include, a lot of players who are in the squad right now. So I'd wait until the manager see until what happen next season, at the end of the season, and then make a judgment. That's just my opinion.
I see Pop is cracking up. Score predictions here are the same as the takeover predictions.
God damn.
Well, we're not hitting them at the moment, but we have had a run. We had the Amrabat. We had a lot of good transfers in the summer, so don't wipe us completely out off the map.
Exactly.
Chelsea are facing point
No, they're
production.
not. It's a clickbait story. They did this already once. It's a clickbait story.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
This is just weird. It's just so weird that Everton gained a point deduction before City and they have 115
To be
charges.
fair, it's not official yet. The Everton one.
No.
That hasn't happened yet.
Mhm.
So
True.
I think
But it's just shocking. It's just shocking out of the. But then again, you never know. City might be end up relegated to third division for a while, for two seasons or 3 seasons.
you gotta have something to keep you going, I guess. That's
No, I don't think it's gonna happen. They have too much money, two strong lawyers. I think City will get out of it. They will find a way. It's just the way it is. Big money always win.
They definitely
That's
will
the
get
problem.
relegated. I could guarantee that.
they're not
The
getting relegated.
least will happen is they end up in the championship for a season. The least. I'm telling you.
I don't put a bet on it. Don't bet on it like Tonali.
I wouldn't bet on that, but
end up
I
in
said
the-
that. Listen, with the amount of 115 charges.
Have you looked at the charges? I have. Some of them are absurd. Some of them are like the grass length of the pitch.
Yeah, well,
So
okay, well, we're not talking about all of them, but put it like this, right? If
Oh,
Newcastle, if
crazy.
Everton have one breach and they get 12 games, 12 points, right? If they end up with more than 10, that should be like what?
Stephanie. That's what I thought, man. That's what I thought. It don't work. It only works like that in the US.
Stephanie's too funny.
Yeah, I see Jonathan Liljenberg coming in. Big up. Hey på dig, Jonathan. Jim Ratcliffe's offer to buy MUFC expires next Friday. The deal was initial 25% stake with sporting control, plus an option to acquire the clubs fully within 3 years for the Glazers to accept. So there's a time limit apparently on the 25% initial stake. That will be interesting, and we will probably have a lot of shows talking about that in the next weeks to come. The takeover. Steve, you watch it from a Newcastle perspective. What's your thoughts about the takeover?
I mean, I actually did think Qatar would get it, to be honest. I thought so. And like, yeah, Radcliffe is not it's not a good thing. And to be honest, I don't want those owners in football. As much as like, yeah, we got a bit of a rivalry or whatever. Bro, I don't want those kind of owners in sport and stuff. I would much rather have the Saudi Arabia, like a PIF investment where it's focused on winning. There's no BS behind it. People can do whatever they want, but Newcastle, we're focused on winning and progressing, not on the others. It priorities. Man City, you can say whatever you want about them. You can say whatever you want, dislike them. They've won stuff, and if you're a fan of them, you can only that it must be nice, right? Like that's what you guys would want. That's why.
I mean, it's nice now. I mean, like, you know, they're winning some things now. You know, a first Champions League in the history is good to know. It's good that they win one. You know what I mean? When people tell me Man City is the best club in the world, I laugh because to me that's hypocrisy.
But they are.
They might
That's
be the
the
best.
problem.
No,
Like
they're
I
the best
said, you
club
can
in
say
England.
whatever. You can
No,
say
they're the
whatever.
best club in England, but the best club in Europe is Real Madrid. They won more Champions League in the last 5 years than anyone else. They are the best club in Europe. They've done it more times than everybody else.
Currently, they're the best in
I would say Man City is still the best club in England. Real Madrid is still the best club in Europe. And when they talk about pull, Real Madrid, it goes Real Madrid, Manchester United, Barcelona, and anybody and Bayern Munich. Everybody else has come after that. So people might think that Man City have a pull. Man City have no pull above Manchester United, and that's a fact, right? Manchester City playing well.
That's
they don't need the pull, you know. But at the same time, it's like I just putting it out there because a lot of people think that because Man City winning now, they pull big, they pull large. They have a way out. Their model wasn't based on buying a lot of outside players, based on developing more players than they purchase. That's how the City model is. The City model is totally the same as the Barcelona model. But La Masia is feed Barcelona. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I would. But back to the ownership point, like I'd much rather have those kind of owners in sport because they focused on winning stuff.
Yeah,
they're focused on winning stuff. Like the Glazers, they've made your stadium trash now. They're not focused on winning stuff. It's not. I mean, look at your squad and look at what you've done over the past 10 years. FA Cup here and there. I think 2 League Cups in a Europa League. It's you know that it could be so much better. It could be so much better, and like you guys obviously amazing and shit. So it's like I think owners like that. I don't want that in sport because it's like this. I want to see the best of the best. They say the Premier League's the greatest league in the world. Well, is it? Because you don't have a strong Manchester United. You don't have a strong Chelsea. You don't have a strong, you know, it's Man City's and Man City's alone right now.
Exactly.
All they want, but it is what it is, man. So, and also, I don't want the Glazers doing business to create the Super League and stuff. You know, working with other owners and creating that because I don't want that.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem, but they have a law already set in place against that. You know, the fans have to be a deciding factor in that. The only way the Super League could go ahead is without English teams. So it's a different situation now for English teams because they are not able to participate in the Super League.
They'll find a way around it.
They will try to. But at the same time, let me be real. Like people, they could have all kind of news out there in the ether, right? And all kind of news, right? And they'd have people talking about Rishi Sunak send emails to the Glazers saying, well, you know, we need you all to sell up to Qatar, you know, and the date that they say it was sent was the date that they postponed that they announced the gym deal was going to be postponed and delayed. So you never know what could be happening. Like who will always hope for Qatar or anyone else who could just come in and buy the club 100% from the Glazers because Glazers out is the only way United go and stop partaking in top 4 and start winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Competing for first place. So if other fans want to just continue being a part of the top 4 every season, let's sack Eric Ten Hag this season, and get anyone. Luis Enrique, we could get Carlo Ancelotti, we could go and get De Zerbi. As a matter of fact, I wish we go for De Zerbi, right? Because when De Zerbi come to United and he packed 10 goals in the back of the net on his first 5 games, he get packed up 10-0, right? I will laugh at everybody because everybody thinking like Just like how everybody talk about Eric Ten Hag. Ajax players training from 11 years old all the way up. Eric Ten Hag is basically, just a figurehead. But look where Ajax is, the 17th. They went through 4 managers in 1 season.
18th now after the PSV game. What a good 18th that was, by the way. What a good game that was on Sunday. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Serious. Drex. Both teams had like 15 shots, 7 on target at halftime.
Wow. Bombing on. Yeah. Well, we got to wrap it up. We are now on 1 hour 45 minutes, so I think it's time. I would like to say thank you to Steve for coming on and informing us about Newcastle, having a good discussion. Thank you to Poppy, Football Power Hour, and the one and only Mark N. So are we doing any pre-match show tomorrow, or is it just a post-match show, Mark?
I'm doing a pre-match show, a warm-up, right before when they announce the lineup for the team, so we could talk about that. And I'll be hopping on Poppy's stream,
Yeah, we'll be doing the watch along, obviously, like we always do. So make sure you tune in for that, guys.
Very good, very good. I see people enjoyed your presence here, Steve. Good job, Steve, from Drex. And Alien Tenno says, cheers all, have a good night. And I think that will be a good ending. So everybody,
let me just one thing, guys,
and subscribe before you go.
We had a poll in the chat tonight, and the question was, will Eric Ten Hag make multiple changes to the starting 11? And there were 59 voters. 56% of you said yes, and 44% of you said no.
Wow.
Okay, so it's even almost 50-50. And we see here Lily say, cheers to all, Jim Glazers out. I all agree, Glazers out. Yeah. Screen and gold until we're sold. And we have here Jamie Wayne with the last comment of the day. See you on the terrace, Steve.
Yeah. Yes, you will.
Do you have anything you want to shout out, channels or Twitter or anything, Steve, before we go?
Just check out Newcastle Fans TV, because I do some videos on there if you're ever interested. And then Strasbourg Steve is my personal YouTube. I just do watch alongs from anywhere, man, dude. I do watch along. I did watch alongs on Sunday from the Eredivisie in Holland, because that's one of my favorite leagues to watch. From France, Italy, I cover just football in general. So go check out Strasbourg Steve. You could just search it up on there. But yeah, that's where I do most of my stuff. So thanks for having me on, man. Really appreciate it. Good, and good to meet you too, Mark and Poppy. Good stuff.
Yes, thanks for coming on, bro.
Good. Strasbourg Steve, everybody, go follow him on Twitter and Newcastle TV. So that's it. Remember to hit the like, subscribe before you go, hit the bell so you will get notification for the next stream. And I will end with the famous word: peace, love, and banana.
Oh wait, guys, don't forget to join me for the news in the morning. 9 a.m. UK time. So have a good night, everyone.
And did we set up the watch along on Mufc Realist TV or not? We'll figure that part out.
We'll figure that out, guys. So the watch along will be set up. All right, guys. Catch you all later. Like, share, and subscribe. Bella, take it away.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. If you want to take it to the next level, you can always show your appreciation to sponsor our channel by clicking below the video title, where you will see the heart icon with the text saying, thanks. Or you could buy me a cheeky little coffee by scanning this barcode, or visit this link to buy me a virtual coffee. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. Remember, glory, glory, Man United, Glazers out. It is green and gold until we are announced and sold. That was all from me. I wish you a good day and a great match experience, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.